Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tea with Tea Sundays. My goddess and I go live every single Sunday. It might be on TikTok, might be on Instagram, but we go live and we talk about certain topics. So this is our first time coming live on Instagram in a really long time. So I'm interested to see how the conversation goes. What's up, y'all? Get in here. Get in here. Good morning. Good morning. The Art of Detachment. Oh, there she go. I'm waiting for my goddess. The Art of Detachment. I love you too. Thank you. Good morning. How can I add her? Okay, there she go. Boom. Welcome. Thank you for your support. What happened? Did it not add her? Okay. There we go. Yay. Good morning, sis.
Good morning, richest
How you?
rising to everybody.
Good morning.
How
Oh,
you
good
feeling? You look
afternoon. What the
so
hell?
pretty.
Thank you. You too. Yo, your dress. Oh my God. Look at her. Yo, she's freaking gorgeous, yo. Yo.
Hi, everybody. Oh, oh
I
my
was
God,
telling
look at this
them that it's
one.
our first time being on Instagram live in a while together.
We've been doing this for so long, and we're so happy to just join everybody and talk about some real good, because we got some stuff to talk about today. We
Yeah,
got some stuff to talk about today, so I'm so
we got a
excited.
lot to talk about. Oh my God. This topic right here, the art of detachment, it really trickles down, like attaching ourselves to things trickles down and affects us in our relationships and manifesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Herb said, y'all look so beautiful. Thank you so much. So the art of detachment, take it away, sis. I'll let you take it away.
Girl, I just want to come on here real quick before we get into that. You look so beautiful, my sis.
Thank
I love you. Thank
you.
you.
So do
Thank you for
you.
being here. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you all for sharing your time with us, because we really, that's what we're about. We're about sharing information and sharing love. And the art of detachment, I want to just kick it off by just talking about my personal experience with detaching. I've been the one to attach myself to things outside of me. I've been the one to attach my things not only to people, but to like material things as well. I've been there, and one thing I learned in this journey is attaching leads to pain. I've experienced firsthand that pain that comes from attaching, and it's all about the perspective as well. Like, do we consider things outside of us to have power and hold certain power over us, versus finding that peace within ourselves and looking at us as the power? It comes to people, it comes to money, it comes to even my home, it comes to everything. And it's like all about having that healthy detachment. What I learned recently, in a specific situation, was it was a love thing. It was something where it was just like, all right, I love someone. Do I, I allowed myself to be involved with that person, right? But that person didn't show me signs of reciprocation. Because I honor myself and I love myself, I had to choose myself. Still loving him, still loving who he is as a person. That's real love. That's unconditional love, right? But also
Hmm.
loving myself enough to know that I require a certain type of energy in order for it to be sustainable. I cannot stay in a place where I'm not being reciprocated. So I had to
Right.
detach myself. And that was a real test for me, because I have been in codependent relationships. I have been codependent on people before. I
Yeah.
have seen I have put people on a pedestal above me, and saw them as my source of power, because I didn't know my own power. So when I finally learned who I am, and I discovered my true innate power, I realized too, I'm awesome as well. And
Right.
someday somebody will show me the same energy that I will show them. So it was easy for me this time to detach from that. And honestly,
Okay.
guys, I felt the pain. It was painful, but this shit ain't lasting until like probably like 2 days, 3 days. All right, got over it
Yeah.
pretty quick, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it doesn't really matter at the end of the
because you
day.
detach from
It's
that. Like you, so,
attachment.
and
Yes.
that's the thing about, like, you know, when we love something, and it doesn't even just have to be as far as relationship, you know, like you were saying earlier, like, you know, when we love, when we fall in love with our belongings, you know what I mean, material things, ideas, habits, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
that lead to addictions, right? Is learning how to detach from things, and especially like living with, in the time that we're living in, right, or living in this realm,
Yes.
is learning to let that shit go,
You have
let go of it.
to.
And when you do that, you attract more. Like, when you are able to say, yo, I love this thing, but you know, I'm gonna enjoy the time that I have with it right now, because I may have to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is training yourself to kind of just not be what would it be called, shallow, or what was the word that we were using? We were saying it so often, I don't forgot now. Surface level,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When you're able to let things go, you get out of that mentality of being surface level, and then you become like a spirit, or you know, like an energy. You realize that you're energy, right?
Yes.
And you realize that, yo, I love you right here, right now, today, but tomorrow I might have to let you go, you know, and I'll have peace with letting you go, because I'll always love you, and because I always have this piece of you, your energy. You know what I mean?
Discover that's
Um,
realize it is true love. Could I still love you without calling yourself mine? Because and is any, could you really possess a person? Could you really contain a person? Is anybody
right.
really yours?
Right.
You know, we may connect ourselves with these things, these people, and it feels good sometimes to like have a connection so deep and emotionally tied, but it gets to a point where you had to have gotta have like a balance. I love the word balance. I love balance in everything, moderation in
Mm-hmm.
everything. I can't wear the candles, y'all. Where the candles? But yeah, I love everything with balance and moderation and harmony. So too much of one thing, I understand that's not good. I
Right.
understand. And you can see it yourself. Like I say, your boundaries is your responsibility. We teach people how to treat us, especially when it comes to certain things. If I feel like I'm getting too much screen time on my phone, I need to have a boundary with myself and that phone and give my eyes a rest, because I know this is going to strain my eyes and I need my eyes to do what I got to do. So
Mm-hmm.
it's having that moderation with everything and not getting
Detaching. Yeah.
overly attached to things,
Right.
places, and people.
Facts.
Yes.
Let's look
I
at
think
some
that's the key.
comments.
Somebody
Um,
said detachments. I read it earlier. Somebody said detachment is the beginning is the beginning of new beginnings, basically. I get what she's trying to say. It's a sign of new beginnings. And yes, when you experience the experience of detaching, you have like another perspective, which gives you a choice now. And when you make different choices, you are moment to moment, you're aligning yourself to that new reality that you're creating. Everything is based off of a choice, and that's why for your perspective is very important.
mm-hmm. Tamara said, hi, beautiful ladies. I love you, ladies, so, so much. Finally, I'm up on here. I'm so glad you're here. It's the beauty and intelligence and awareness for me.
We appreciate you.
Mylan said, even in addiction, exactly. That's what we were saying.
Yes,
Um,
substances
that's what
that
addiction
have,
is. Like,
yeah,
you're attaching yourself too much to something. You know what I'm saying? And we could be addicted to so many things. You could be addicted to sex. You could be addicted to, like you said, social media, your phone.
people.
You know, you could be addicted to working. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, do you feel like some addictions are healthy?
I don't think anything with addiction is healthy. Because even like, for example, people will probably look at it like, oh, being a hard worker, being addicted to your work, right? I don't even think that's healthy. I feel like everything requires a balance. Like, you could be a hard worker, yeah, and get really focused and get to it, but you're gonna need your body at the end of the day. How are you treating your body when you're doing these things? You're gonna need your body to continue to do these things and to continue to create. So, and what I learned from this experience is, if you do not detach healthily from certain things, life is going to make it happen for you. Life doesn't have to be nice. And then we see the outcome of that is when things end abruptly, and when we're not prepared, because we haven't been preparing ourselves to detach from these things. We haven't been preparing ourselves to even maintain these things, because again, too much of one thing is just no good. So like I would even say that, like,
Yeah, I agree. Because I
everything's
had to
moderation.
think about it. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's been times where I've been addicted to working.
Mm-hmm.
um, because it's so funny. Like, I'm able to discipline myself when it comes to so many things. Like, I used to love me some liquor. I stopped drinking. Love me to weed. I can stop smoking when I want to.
The choice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but like when it comes to work, I'd be like, I don't discipline myself. I will literally work all day on something that I want to work
Right.
on. Though that's the
Right.
thing. Because
And
I'll
we
tell
love
you
that
real
energy,
quick,
right?
fuck your job.
I mean, it's a blessing to love what you do. It's a blessing.
Right?
But what happens when, because I'm big on that burst of energy, like, oh my God, it's go time. You know that energy is go time. I got all the stuff flowing, the juices is flowing. Let me get right to it.
Yes.
Let me get right into create it. And there's times when I still have to be like, okay, I don't want to wait till I get burnt out before I stop. So how about I say, okay, I'm still feeling really good. Let me take a minute and go take a walk. Let me take a minute and go listen to music and dance. Let me take a minute and call my loved one. Because sometimes we be working so hard that we forget the people around
Yes.
us that's supporting us, that loves us. Like, let me take a minute and check in on people that I love, because when it's all said and done and we depart, we transition from this earthly plane, what we gonna really have? You know, are we still gonna have that word? Yeah, it's gonna be there for us to leave back, but those people that we loved on, and the people that the way we make us, we made these people feel, we made those feelings matter. You know, those experiences matter. I've seen too many outcomes with even my homegirl this literally today. I was telling her, I was like, I seen the story where somebody's working their ass off, like really working their ass off to get where they gotta go. They get there, 6 months later, they collapse, they dead. They only get a chance to experience the things that they worked so hard to build. And it's a
Right.
sad story, because it's like, yes, you did, yes, it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you, but you gotta care about yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have fun with this experience, with this journey, with this moment. So that's why I've been living moment to moment to moment.
Yeah.
Moment,
Yep. That's
moment.
true. And speaking of
Mm-hmm.
the experience, someone said let it go to embrace a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I was just going up, I'm actually detaching from my mother. It's painful because I'm putting up a boundary so I can be respected. Yo, we were talking about that. We've all had to do that. I think that it's a common misconception. People think they
Yeah.
gotta put up with family members because they're family, but no. Like it's okay to detach, and I can love you from a distance. That's one thing that I learned too, not just with family but with friends.
Yeah.
You know, if you bring, because you know what they say, show me your company, I'll tell you who you are, right? So if
Right.
you bring out this side of me that I don't like, you know, if you make me if you bring out the worst in me as opposed to bringing out the best in me, then I can say, hey, this isn't healthy. I'm gonna fall back, and I can love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I
so we don't,
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
we don't have to put up with anybody
That we don't have
that,
to. It doesn't matter who they
yeah,
are.
right.
And
I
I
don't
want to touch on the
care.
pain thing real quick. I want to touch on the pain thing real quick, because I've been battling. I've been not battling. I've been dealing. I've been experiencing this new way of looking, perceiving pain. And
Mm-hmm.
oh man, I love this new perspective, because it helps shift you. It helps take you out of your body for a little bit, and for you to have the bird's eye view. So for example, feel your pain. The pain is there to tell you information. The pain is there to tell you you don't like the situation, you want out. So if your body's telling you this, now you use your mind to see what steps you could take to change the reality. So as much as it hurts, because it's gonna hurt, because we're human and we're here to feel. We're
Yeah.
here to feel all emotions. We're here to feel happy,
Right.
excited, sad,
Exactly.
sad. As much as we hate it, we don't like feeling. Everybody loves to feel good, right? But think of the pain as information. Oh shit, I'm not going where my body, where my soul requires me to go. abort mission. Let me turn around, or let me just take a minute. Let me think for a second and see what could I do. A lot of people not pausing. A lot of people not being still. We gotta be still, y'all. We gotta breathe for a little bit before we move on and make other choices. So yes, feel your pain, feel your feelings, and then transmute it. I love transmuting it. I love turning my pain into power.
Yeah.
Okay, what did this lesson teach me?
Yeah.
I was forced to let go of something. What did this teach me?
Ooh, you turned that pain into a come up.
Thank
That's
you.
powerful
Yes.
when you can
You
do that. When
alchemize.
you can detach in that way. And detaching, remember we said that detaching is not just detaching from a people, a person, a place. It's detaching from ideas and feelings and habits. So
self-limiting beliefs.
facts. So when you can detach from that and say, detach from that emotion and say, I'm not gonna stay in this depressed state where I'm unhappy and I'm hurting. I'm gonna transmutate that depression, transmutate that emotion into something powerful. I'm gonna start a business, or I'm gonna start writing. I'm gonna start doing art. I'm gonna start going out and changing the fucking world. That is so powerful. So detaching, oh my God, detaching is just, like I said, it's all over. And that's why it's literally an art. It's a skill. And I think that, it's so important. And I think that we would have better dating experiences too if we learned how to detach. Right?
And if you find yourself attaching, when this comes to the dating part, of course, because this is important too, you find yourself attaching to someone, it's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Know that, like, as time keep going, you'll get better at this, especially if you're somebody that attach really deeply in your connections and you probably suffer with attachment issues. It's okay to give yourself a chance to slip up here and there, because we're human. We've been through a lot, and some of these experiences, we're in them for the first time. Like, if you've been hurt a lot and then you meet somebody that is actually a genuine person, you're gonna need time to get used to that. Even if it's good, even if it's a great situation, you still have to heal layers of yourself that remain dormant. They have to come up some way, somehow, and it's not gonna always be pretty. It's not.
That's why
And
people
I
be
found
running
my
from it.
power. Yes, I found my power by detaching, by letting go, by actually saying surrender. Because when we think about it, I feel like most of our pain also comes from us trying to control things, us trying to hold on.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the human need to want to control everything.
When we see our life becoming a specific thing and the life is not moving in that specific direction, we get tight as hell because we were latching. And sometimes we don't even realize it, but then we react to life unfolding for us in a way that we don't want it to unfold. We react kind of crazy. We start losing our shit. We start thinking the weirdest shit. We start thinking we want our life to be over. We start latching out. But if we just take a moment to really look at it, critical thinking skills is important. Really see it for what it is and see the bigger picture. You realize, oh, this shit is really just happening for me. If it was meant to happen, it would happen.
Right.
That's it.
Detaching. Facts. Let me look at some of these comments. Let me see. Oh, I went up too far. I don't want to miss what you guys are saying. The lesson I learned is love is also preparing to let go. Absolutely. For real. Right? Because when you think about it, right, they say fall in love, right? When you're falling, you let go.
It's a risk when it comes to that too, you know? But people don't. That's why sometimes. So whoever said that comment, thank you, because we could slide into this segment real quick. We could talk about the men really quick, but it does require.
Yo, we laughing because we said
that comment.
Yo, that was perfect.
A risk. If you want somebody and you know at the end of the day, when you put your heart on the line, you're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable, it's a potential that you're gonna get hurt, right? if you really want it, you want it anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does not, you can't be on some, I want it, but I don't, I want it. That's confusion.
Yeah.
Clarity. We
You
need
want it or you
clarity.
don't want it.
Exactly. Which brings me to this. Like, I've experienced, and I don't want to only generalize it as a man thing. I don't want to say that, because I feel like it's just people who allow fear to lead in their life. They do this back and forth thing, confusing the person next to them that actually know what they want, you know? And that's where we have to put ourselves first and be like, nah, like, I can't do this back and forth with you because you're confusing me, you're hurting me. I know I want you, but if you're doing this in and out thing with me because you're afraid of falling in love with me, or you're afraid of what people think, or you're afraid of whatever, then you need time to yourself. You need time to, and I feel like, well, my personal experience with men, I feel like they take a while to decide, because instead of following their hearts, they jump right into their logic, and they're all about logic when this life is all about balance. Both men and women require balance in order to have a beautiful union.
Yeah.
You cannot be two in your head, and you can't be two in your feelings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the ladies, but you can't be two in your feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It does require balance, because you gotta be you gotta be intentional and logical, but also emotional, right? So it does require balance and that vulnerability that a lot of men lack. And I feel like that's a new thing. Western society has programmed us to believe that women need to submit to men, when in reality it requires both parties submission.
Yes.
So men have this massive amount of pressure on their shoulders, because they're like, okay, gotta be tough, can't be vulnerable.
Gotta be the provider.
Yeah.
Not
Like, doing the
you
robot all over the place, because they like, no, you're human. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. You're not a machine. You gotta be vulnerable. You gotta submit. And a lot of men are on this journey where, like you said, they want it, but they don't want it. So they want to half-ass it just so they could have a piece of it.
And that's not gonna happen over here. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? She said, look, for the record, that's not happening on this side. Somebody said something. Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's my sister that said that. Tamara Nicola. She said, and abandonment issues will deal with us if we don't deal with it first. And a lot of a man's lack of the ability to be vulnerable and submit is because of their abandonment issues. They feel like, oh, she's going to hurt me. She's going to leave me, just like my dad did. Everybody in my life left me, so she's going to leave me too. You know what I'm saying? It's like the trauma is just like never ending. And what you need to do is work on yourself. Detach from that. Detach from that
storyline. Your past is no longer here.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things with it too, when it comes back to detachment, is to welcome and allow this new beginning to really happen. Like, where I am today, if you had told me I'll be here when I was like 16, 17, 18, 20s, early 20s, going through it, I wouldn't believe you. I'll be like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of my face. Like, I would have everything that I desire, and then I'll be in a space where I feel confident enough to actually keep going after these things. I had to let go of that lack mindset, that belief, because it was a belief at one point, and that was a thing. Let me tell you something about beliefs and why it's dangerous to believe certain things, because like, you really are creating your reality. You really are. Your belief controls all this shit that's around you. My belief in myself, as hard as it was to actually believe in myself, because there's a point where it was hard for me to believe in myself. At one point, I was looking at myself like, bitch, don't you let yourself, why is it so hard for you to believe? Like, but I had to be easy with myself, because I've been through some shit. Like, I experienced some shit. But I had to change my view and mindset on those stuff that I experienced, and say, yo, if it wasn't for those stuff, I wouldn't have the certain type of mindset. I wouldn't have the wisdom. I wouldn't have the resilience that it requires for me to even handle a big task that I'm creating for myself. I'm creating responsibilities for myself. I'm going to be responsible for people one day and their fucking payments. I'm going to have to be a boss one. Like, I have to be in that energy right the fuck now. I cannot wait for the people to come and show up for me to get in boss energy. I have to be in that energy. And when it comes to, I'm going to go back to the men. We'll talk about the women later, I guess. But because this is this is a fucking epidemic. At this point, I feel like guys have this thing where they get themselves in like this working zone. We could talk about the workaholics, the one that want to build something and they see that they're coming out of survival mode. They're probably still in survival mode because they don't realize that having a community and having a good woman by their side will make it easier. They don't see the easy part. They see the hard work. Well, hard work is killing us. I want to say that. The hard fucking work. You know what the hard work should be? And it shouldn't even be hard. More on mental, more on emotional, more on how you feel, how you vibrate, and what's your level of vibration right now. That should be the most thing that you should be focused on, because after that, it's going to align with everything outside of you. If you're continuously doing the physical part and forgetting the emotional, spiritual part, if you get where you gotta go without all that pressure, first of all, it's not gonna be easy, because you're so focused on that hard work that is gonna be hard. I believe that I could live this life with ease. So guess what? My life is gonna happen with ease.
Absolutely. That's the reality that I created.
That's the reality that I created. That's what I believe, and that's so shall be. The guys, they don't see that, and unfortunately, I do feel like it's because of what the society has proclaimed them to be, the providers, the thing. But all right, if you have the support around you, your life could go change like this. You do not have to be in survival mode, sleeping on the couch, struggling with your homeboys and your homegirls because this is what life is supposed to be. You could change that.
You can absolutely change that. Detach from that storyline, like you said. You gotta put that on a shirt.
It's a lot. Please put it. Please, I'm writing down for you.
Detach from that storyline. Stop thinking that you gotta struggle. Stop thinking that love has to hurt. Stop thinking that everybody is going to hurt you, even if you've been hurt before. You know, change your perspective. See that hurt as ammo. Like, what you've been through was only to make you a stronger and better person for your current reality. It doesn't mean it's going to continue, right? And I feel like because the fact that a lot of people don't see it like that, we're just suffering from self-inflicted pain. And I feel like if we look at history, which I love doing, we can see how our men have because our men they were always the hunters, right? They would always bring home the food. You know, the women would cook it and take care of the household. And that's why you could see, like, if you look on the temples, on temple walls, women were depicted as lighter because they were in the house. You know what I'm saying? The men were out in the field gathering crops and all of that to bring home to feed the family, right? But we all worked together. We all had our respective places in the household, you know, to make it work. And now, like I said, I feel like we're programmed to think that the men have to be, the men are required to do all the hard work or most of the hard work. You know, he has the pressure on him to be the provider. He has the pressure on him to be the backbone of the family. And it doesn't have to be that way, because in the midst of it being that way and him seeing things from that perspective, he loses sight in what's most important, and that's working on himself internally to be that man that his family needs. So if you just stop for a moment, detach from everything that's happening around you, and go inward and work on being a better man, you know what I'm saying? So that your relationships don't crumble.
So the way
you're not like
about your work doesn't have to be a way that will one day make you sick one day. A lot of people become ill because they're putting way too much pressure and stress on themselves, and because of the way that they're thinking. Right. So like you said, when the guy chooses to focus on that inner work, and balance it, you're gonna have to get up and get some shit done. It's not gonna come without that. But you could balance it. You could meet yourself in the middle. You could say, oh, let me just tap in. Let me actually feel some shit. Yeah, they told me that I'm not supposed to feel. But who fucking life is it? I'm gonna listen to y'all niggas because y'all been, from what I know, y'all been lying to my ass all along. I come into this fucking world and it was a lie.
Exactly.
So if you realize the truth, fuck it. The truth is it. This is what it is. They did what they had to. They did what they had to do. Let them deal with that shit. We're over here creating new realities and new systems
and
because we
breaking
can't.
generational curses too.
Yes, and breaking them and creating
Yeah.
our new way of being,
New
because
realities.
it's possible and it's happening. It's actually happening.
Right.
And we're here to share this with y'all because we want y'all to know that it's possible. And we're gonna be here talking about this shit every Sunday if we have to, because it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
possible.
And I don't want to close it out either without talking about the women's part and
Wait,
the role that we play.
Why we always do this? I was about to say, wait, hold on, sis. I was about to say, wait, let me take a little breather.
Yeah, because I'm not biased. We're gonna get on the men, we're gonna get on the women.
We're gonna talk about the women too.
Anybody could get it. I don't care. You black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, like anybody could get it.
I was
Yo,
like, hold on.
I feel like
ladies, I'm not
women, as women, we need to detach from thinking everything has to be perfect. We have to detach from thinking that our men should be a certain way. And that's once we detach from, wait, and another thing, we have to detach from wanting everything to go our way and happen when we want it to happen. Because once we detach from that, from those expectations, we're able to really focus on our connections.
Oh my God.
Right? And be like, okay, well, this is what it is. This is what it could be. You know what I'm saying? How do you want it from your side? And I'll tell you how I want it from my side. And then we meet in the middle and we come to a common agreement and we're happy. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how it is. How it's happening is like women, we want things how we want it, when we want it, and we don't want to hear none of that other shit. Like we don't want nothing. I don't want to hear nothing else that you have to say.
We get a little bit really attached to the point where it does become unhealthy. We get attached emotionally. Sometimes I feel like most times I do believe once women find their strength in their vulnerability, in their emotions, and actually utilize it for their own benefit, that's where women find their power. We are sensitive and very emotional for a reason. It is our power. Mm-hmm. How we use it, that is on us, and that is where we kind of get fucked up. Like, if you are taking care of somebody more than you're taking care of yourself, that's a problem. If you are thinking about somebody more than you're thinking about yourself, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
You come first in all this shit. And it's more like a boundary thing. Like, if you know that the person is showing you signs that, and this is a knowing, you can feel it. Why are you asking your homegirl what she thinks?
We all been there. I'm laughing because that shit is funny as hell.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
You know what you know, and you know the guy is not showing you the attention that you know you deserve. Why are you asking somebody else what you should do?
Talk to him.
Yeah, you talk to him, and if he's still giving you bullshit, then that's how you know you gotta go. Cut.
Right. That's he ain't it. He ain't it.
That's your power, woman.
Right.
You have so much power.
And it's funny.
The power from the men. We just have our respective powers.
Right.
And we utilize it in the best way for our benefit and for the benefits for everybody around us. Because if you're standing in your power, you're influencing your sister, your cousins, your friends, you're influencing your community standing in their power.
Right.
Just because you're standing in your power.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did.
That's a fact.
We did have a little women's life. We did have a little.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because what I was gonna say is it's funny because a lot of times like I've had this conversation with my partner. We have this conversation very often because the whole point of a partnership, right? Like if you have a business partner, right? If work isn't going the way it's supposed to be going, or you're not making the money, or somebody's not holding up their end of the bargain, are you going to go talk to everybody else about it, or are you going to talk to them because you want to get it right because you want this money? It should be the same way in your relationships. Like a lot of times we walk around with the stink face or some tension, there's tension or the silent treatment and resentment. Meanwhile, the person is not seeing things from our perspective. Like they don't even know what's going on in your head.
Right.
Like they're just like, so a lot of times it's important to just take that step back and just have that conversation with your partner, with not just your partner, but not just your partner in intimate relationships in business and like your friendships, your family members. Like a lot of times communication will really just squash everything.
It, it is so, like we talked about it earlier, it's so crazy how just one small thing like communication could just change what could be like an explosive thing into like a just small thing, and have everybody come back together and be one, be happy again. And so many good potential relationships get ruined because people are way into their pride and their ego and not looking at the fact that, okay, holding themselves accountable. It takes two. If you treat me a certain way, then something that I did allowed you to think that you could treat me a certain way.
Right. It does take two to take that accountability,
Mm-hmm.
and detach from that victim mentality that we all
Exactly.
that we have. A lot of people of color too. We have this victim mentality that we need to let go as a collective.
Because we're not victims. That's actually a lie too. We're actually gods. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're not victims. We lost the war, and so now, like, we lost the war so bad that we forgot we were even warring. So now we're just like captives, and we're in this matrix. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many things that we need to detach from, not just in our relationships, but we need to detach from certain thoughts and behaviors that we were taught, and things that were programmed into us. Like, just start questioning everything.
Like,
Start questioning
what is your
everything.
truth? What is your truth, and why is your truth your truth? Where did you get that truth from? Who and where and what influenced you to think like that? And it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to believe something at one point and say, oh, I see the total different way now. It's okay to be a total new you. And you don't need someone to validate that for you to feel. If you feel like something's true to you, it's true to you. You're right. You're right.
You can't
So,
communicate with the person that has created an illusion of you in their mind. By so doing, they are
I'm not seeing the comments,
determined.
by the way, sis. So you got it on the comments. I'm
Huh?
not seeing them. I'm not seeing the comments on my
Oh,
end. So you got it on the
don't
comments.
see that? Okay. You can't communicate with the person that has created an illusion of you in their minds. By doing so, they are determined to misunderstand you rather than seeing where you're coming from. Okay, so then that's a relationship that is dead. Because if I can't have a conversation with you, and come to an agreement, and
What's the
compromise,
point of being
yeah,
here?
what's the point of us being here? That relationship is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
That's like
times,
the basics of a relationship, is for me to be able to feel safe to talk to you. If I don't feel safe to
yeah,
talk to you, if I can't come to you, if there's always a problem and I can't like freely express myself, and we could be mature adults, we should not be together.
I
Point blank
agree.
period.
That's not a healthy relationship, and I think that our statistics are so messed up, and our relationships aren't lasting because we're not realizing that we have to detach from that trauma, because the person who has already made up their mind about you, now it depends on how you treat that person. If you treated that person like crap, and they have you know they have the right to actually see you that way, that's one thing. You brought it on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the person is just going based off of their trauma and what they've experienced in the past, that's that person's stuff. They need to work on that. They need to detach from what their experiences and grow from them. So it can go a number of ways.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if the person has already made up their mind about you and they're not willing to give you the benefit of the doubt or work on it,
Let the ass go and worry about you in their own reality, please.
yeah, we really gotta heal. Like, it
Take your
takes,
power back.
yeah, yeah, exactly. When you heal, you get your power back. Yep. But we really gotta heal, because a lot of us have been through some things, and we're just holding on to it because we weren't taught how to heal from these things. We
Yeah.
were taught to just keep going and drown it out with sex,
And
weed,
some of us
shopping.
are self-made. All right, all right. Some of us came into this reality purposely connecting with family, friends, neighborhoods, communities that is going to fucking completely abort us. Some of us came in this lifetime to learn how to be well equipped and be self-sustainable. And that's just a lifetime. The fucking storylines, that's just the storyline we chose for ourselves. All right. Doesn't have to be our storyline forever. But for some reason, maybe in a past life, you was too needy. You was too, probably everybody gave, maybe life was too easy for you. So this life, all right, I want to know what it feels like. Because remember, you're a spiritual being in a human body, experiencing consciousness in different perspectives. So your source, your actual source, core true self want to grow. How is it going to grow? Through all these little things, these little, maybe you're gonna have a parent that didn't fuck with you when you was younger. Maybe you're gonna have a cousin that totally violated you. Maybe you had just certain things have to happen for you to earn your stripes, as crazy as it may sound. Maybe these things had to happen for you to get to the point where you're like, oh shit, this is who I am. Because we forgot who we are for a reason. We forgot because if you really knew that you was God this whole time, how would life really be, for real?
Yeah, like if you really knew your power. So we gotta find our way back to that, for real. And it's gonna take work. Stop running from it. Stop trying to get high every time you're stressed out. Stop taking shots just because you a little bit, you in your head. Like, we have to actually face these things so that we can grow collectively.
People do those things because they don't want to feel, right? So the whole thing goes back to feeling. It goes back to allowing yourself to feel. People smoke and get high sometimes, because sometimes we do it for all our own reasons. Some people do it so they could just be in a meditative state. Some people use it intentionally, and some people abuse it because they don't want to be in their body and they don't want to feel the way they feel. And so if that scenario is what you're doing, then you need to take time to really sit down and figure out first, why are you running from yourself? What's happening?
What are you running from?
And what are you running from? And what is really happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
Once you
and
find
detach from that fear, because you're scared. Like, what are you scared of?
Yes.
Detach from that fear and do the necessary work.
Mm-hmm. I feel amazing. I
love
I
it.
shared a lot. We have so much information, and I'm excited to just be here and continue to share what we know, because girl, how are y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling? Where y'all at? Bring up our comments. Let us know where you at in your life. If you have any questions for us, we're free to, we'll be so happy to answer. We'll be so happy to answer. And
we do this every Sunday. Oh, and she's gonna the page, it'll post to my page. This conversation will post to my page, but also you put it on your YouTube.
Yeah. So what we'll do is when you post it, I forgot how we did it before. Oh, I know how to do it.
Download
I download it. Yeah, and I'll post it on Shandy Love Speaks for the replay. If you missed any of the conversation, you could watch it on my YouTube channel, and you can also watch it on Elevated both of our pages.
Yeah. That was a great conversation. Thank you guys so much for giving us your time and for listening and sticking around and for your support and for engaging.
Sunday. We'll probably be back here on Instagram on Sunday.
Yeah, we could do Instagram. We could probably switch it up. We'll see. We just going with the flow. We'll
let you guys know, because we usually go on TikTok on Sundays as well, and we bring our love there on TikTok, The Perfect Alignment, and Herbs LLC TikTok. So just stay tuned to stuff that we post in our stories, because we'll definitely be sharing information when we go on live and stuff that we're doing individually and together as well. So.
Yeah. Make sure you guys follow also. My life is amazing now. The gratitude and self-respect is lovely now. That's amazing. Oh, she said did emotional healing, going on 9 years with support groups and a therapist.
Oh, see, community. Her life is amazing now.
Good job. Wow, that's amazing. Kudos to you for taking that initiative to changing, because we've all been through a lot of things that, whether we realize it or not, are affecting us till this very day. So once you make that conscious decision to put that work in and change yourself, you start to change your life, and then you change the people around you. It's so powerful.
And that's why community is so necessary. I'm so thankful that I have the people around me that I have, because it's like, I couldn't do this by myself,
Yeah.
so That's so good to hear. I'm
You're
so happy
so
about that.
welcome. Shit, thanks, guys. Thank you. You can't see those comments
Yeah,
either.
it
You were seeing them
stopped.
before. That's
Yeah, it
weird.
stopped. It literally, I don't even know how many people are watching because my whole thing stopped.
Oh, there's 9 people right now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything, but it's
Wow.
okay. Go on
Okay,
for what you see.
okay. All right, come on, Instagram. Get it together, Instagram.
Get it
Technical
together. Let's
issues.
go. Period.
But it's all love. It's all love. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I love you so much.
Love you guys. Talk
Mwah.
to you soon.
Enjoy your Sunday, y'all.
Please, please do enjoy your Sunday. If it's not anything you're gonna do, enjoy your
Yes.
Sunday. You deserve it.
Yes. Talk to you soon. Have a great week.
Later.